All right, we are recording. So, with all that we just said about breath, let's go ahead and let ourselves get comfortable. So, find your easy posture. Beautiful. Please make sure that hips are higher than knees, and also make sure that if crossed legs is not comfortable, you are always welcome to just let the knees stretch out. All I ask is that you make sure that you bolster underneath the knees so that the knees don't hyperextend. Let your hands come to rest, palms face up. And for the first several cycles of breath, you all, just let your body breathe you. Let your eyes gently begin to close and begin to find your body in space. So all we're doing when we close our eyes is just beginning to connect back into the body. There you go. Beautiful, y'all. Make sure that you're giving yourself permission to fidget however you need in order to make sure that you are most comfortable. So rearranging is always welcome at any time. Take a moment as you're here and just do a quick little body scan. Start at the top of your head and then allow the awareness to come down over the forehead, down the jaw. Allow it to come down the neck. Feel the shoulders begin to ease and relax. And as you're here and you inhale, take a moment to notice how the breath changes from the time that you breathe it in to the time that it goes down to the back of the throat and then down into the lungs. And then as you exhale, notice how it feels as it comes back out. And just begin to notice, how does your body move as your body breathes you? Notice what parts of your bodies move as you inhale. Notice what parts of your bodies move as you exhale. Take a moment to once again connect and make sure that your body is really comfortable and cozy where you are. As you get ready to move into your diaphragmatic breath, as you inhale, I want you to hold the image of the diaphragm drawing down towards your low belly. And as the diaphragm draws down towards your low belly simply expands and moves out. And then as you exhale, feel and observe the diaphragm release from that extended place and feel it rebound and recoil up and against your lungs. And at the end of that exhale, gently draw that low belly in towards your pelvis and really connect inward. And then when you're ready to inhale again, follow the image of the diaphragm gently drawing down, down past the belly button, down into the pelvis. It doesn't really move that far, but just imagine that you're opening it up. And then as you exhale, feel the recoil and the rebound as the diaphragm again moves up underneath the lungs, and then really bring out the last of that exhale as you draw your low belly in through the middle, in between the pelvis, and gently in towards the spine, and gently up. And again, deep inhale. Feel the diaphragm expand, drawing downward, creating lots of space. Space for your ribs to open, space for your shoulders to relax, space for your jaw to soften. And then as you exhale, feel all of that release and notice how hollow the entire abdominal area becomes. So that's everything from below the rib cage all the way down to the bones of the pelvis. And then just simply following this rhythm, I invite you to do 3 more cycles of breath, this breath, silently, following your body. And at the end of your 3rd cycle of breath, just simply place your hands over your heart. And then when you're ready from this place, we're now going to continue to use that breath. The breath that we started with is the breath that will continue as we move through our entire practice. And we're going to start to connect into sound and vibration. We'll sing 3 sounds. We'll sing the sound of ah, then we'll sing the sound of oh, and finally the sound of mm. On your 4th breath, please set your intent for your practice today, making it an I am statement and something that you most need and most desire. So when you're ready, taking that full inhale that we've practiced, and then when you're ready, gently release the hands. Taking a moment just to simply pause. When you're ready, allow the eyes to softly open, the edges of the mouth to turn up into a smile. Thank you guys very much. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to go turn the air conditioning unit off so that I can make sure that I'm speaking loud enough for everyone, for all y'all to hear me. Okay. Here we go. All right. So we're going to start with, we've been doing the movement with the arms and keeping them up high. This time we're going to allow that to be a full range of motion through the shoulders, okay? So what we're going to do is take a deep, full breath of joy, big inhale up, Allow the palms to touch at the top of the inhale, making sure that you're still using the breath that we started with, and then exhale, bring it down to the center. Letting the thumbs rest against the heart point on the sternum. And then inhale, bring it up. Want you to connect in with that right arm. And then as you exhale, coming from this low belly, I want you to open the arms and gently twist yourself over towards the left. So the right arm comes front, left arm comes back. Let it come all the way down. So this right hand can rest at the front of the feet. The left hand can come to the back of the zafu, or the cushion that you're sitting on. And breathe here. This is a very small twist. We're not trying to make this a big one. And just breathe. I'm going to check and peek. Make sure everybody's looking good. Everybody looks good. Lovely. And then when you're ready, on the next inhale, I want you to sweep that right arm from the front, left arm from the back. Bring it all the way back up. And as it comes up, untwist. Bring yourself back to center. Allow the palms to touch. Let them rest back down to the heart. Beautiful, you guys. And then again, deep inhale, bringing it up. This time I want you to connect in with the left arm. And as you exhale, gently twist yourself over towards the right, allowing the left arm to come front, right arm to come back. Left arm gently rests at the front of the feet this time. Right arm is gently supported back at the back of the cushion. Beautiful. Everybody looks wonderful. Noticing that the shoulders are nice and relaxed. And then inhale, gently bring it all the way up. And exhale, bring it down. Good. Very nice. Okay. So just to open up the shoulders a little bit, we haven't done these in a little while. So what I want you to do is start with your arms in front, okay, and palms open. And I want you to draw the fists in and just feel that stretch. Those of you that have grumpy elbows, just kind of notice if that's a difficult movement on the side that's grumpy. Let your hands roll around. Just getting everything to open. Really do that the opposite way as well. And allow them to come back out and open. This time, take another deep inhale. And as you exhale, allow the fingertips to touch the tops of the shoulder blades. And then gently draw those elbows together. Oh. Now, rather than feel the pull in between the shoulder blades, I invite you to see if you can access these muscles right up in here. So I want you instead to feel the pull, feel the pectoral muscles shorten. Let them do their job. And then inhale, feel everything open. And now draw the elbows behind, and I want you to retract the shoulder blades. So squeeze those shoulder blades gently together. So all we're doing is we're asking the muscle partners to each work. And then again, exhale, allow the elbows to come forward, touch. And I want you to feel the pectoral muscle shorten and pull. And then inhale, allow everything to go back. Allow those elbows to come back, and then squeeze those inner edges of the shoulder blades towards each other. And then gently relax. Allow the arms to come down. Take a moment to roll. Okay. And today what we're going to do with our neck is something a little different. Typically what we do is we take the left ear first and we bring it over towards the left shoulder. This time what I want you to do is, with your head upright, you're going to shift your chin, right? So this is neutral. So I'm going to bring my finger out here. You're going to shift your chin over just a little bit to the right, right? So just a couple of inches. And then what you're going to do is bring this left ear down just ahead of the shoulder. And all we're doing right now is we're gently working into some different areas of the neck that we don't normally work in. And breathe. If you feel or notice that this right side of the shoulder feels a little tight, you can do one more thing. You can take this right hand, which I'm waving at you, and turn the palm away from you, bend at the elbow, slide it behind, and then you can take the left hand, which I'm waving at you, and you can gently hold on to that right forearm. And what I want you to do is feel that right shoulder blade gently retract a little bit. So all we're trying to do is just come into some slightly different areas that we may not necessarily always work. And then gently, slowly release, let that relax. Okay, your head from where it's tipped, gently bring it back upright. Let that right shoulder begin to get fluid and soft. Okay. So now we're going to do the same thing, but to the left. So again, chin is facing forward, and gently bring your chin over just a couple inches, right? And this time, tip this right ear just in front of the right shoulder. And just breathe. Notice how that feels. Slow, steady breath. And again, if your body says yes and would like to do more, you're going to take this left hand, turn the palm away, slide it behind, bending at the elbow. And then you're going to take your right hand, hold on to the forearm, and then just gently draw that left arm towards the right. And then when you get it to a place where it feels like it's pretty engaged, squeeze that inner edge of that left shoulder blade and draw it towards the center. So again, all we're doing is just trying to find some new areas that might need some attention and some TLC. And then gently, slowly allow that left shoulder blade to release. Release the right hand, release the left hand, and then gently draw the head up. And let those shoulders roll. Okay. This next part, you must be willing to look a little silly, okay? So I want everybody to just prep themselves that they're going to look a little silly, all right? Yes, we like the silly. So here's what I want you to do. You're gonna place your hands at the forehead, right? Now, typically, what we do is we don't ask our bodies to engage this way. So what you're gonna do is you've got your fingertips at your forehead, and what you're gonna do is I want you to press your forehead into your hands. So we're gonna make this an isometric stretch. So we're actually asking the back of our neck, to start to engage, which it's not used to doing. So just breathe, feel the pressure, and then let it relax. Let the hands come down and just kind of notice how that felt, okay? We're also now going to do the reverse of that. So you're going to lightly interlace your fingers. And what I want you to do is rather than hold on at the neck, you're going to hold on where the neck draws in to the skull, okay? So just lightly interlaced. And so now this time, you're going to take a deep inhale. And as you exhale, gently press the back of your head into your hands this way. So all we're doing is, again, trying to find some different muscles that may not always get the opportunity to open up. And you're going to keep breathing, keep using that long breath. And then gently, slowly release. Let the hands come down. And as long as your body says yes, I want you to do a gentle circle. And it can be a half circle. If your body says yes and feels comfortable going all the way back, that's fine. If it doesn't, that's okay too. And just take a moment to observe how things are feeling. And once you move in one direction, try moving in the other direction too. Okay, there we go. Good. Beautiful. Awesome. Okay. How are we feeling? Okay? Doing okay? Okay. All right. So what I'd like us to do is we're gonna, instead of, I know that normally what we do is we warm up really slowly and it takes us a long time to get to standing. Today we're gonna just turn everything on its ear and we're gonna start standing. So here we go. So I'm gonna adjust the camera, but take a moment, get yourselves up into a standing posture. Okay. All right, so let's see. No, we don't need that. So what we're going to do is we're going to do all of the parts of the moon salutation before we actually do the moon salutation. So the first part is to do the variation of half moon. So find yourself in standing, okay? So this is completely up to you and what feels comfortable for your body. So anything from hip distance all the way to toes touching is fine, but I want you to be comfortable and I want you to feel balanced between the front and the back part of your feet, okay? And notice that as you stand upright, okay, try squeezing through your glutes just lightly in this place of full extension for your legs. So you're not trying to lock the knees. That's something that's different. What I am hoping for is that you can find the squeeze through the glutes, the engagement through the glutes, while keeping a gentle micro bend through the knees. Beautiful, you guys, good. Okay, so from here, take a deep inhale. You're going to begin by taking the left wrist with the right hand. Let the knees bend, or excuse me, let the elbows bend, my bad. Knees do have a micro bend in them. And what you're going to do, the first thing I want you to do is begin to shift those hips over towards the left a little bit. Then take a deep inhale and again, find the length through the center of the body, through your trunk. And then exhale, gently swinging yourself over to the right. So the hips are moving to the left. The torso is moving over to the right. And breathe. And then rather than focusing on this right side, focus on the left side and feel this part, right? This part of your rib cage. Feel it expand away. So feel that move up and away, and deep breath. Again, you're following the breath that we started with. So slow and steady. Beautiful, you guys. Now, if you're noticing that your arms are folding forward, reduce how deeply you're going in so that you can feel that gentle bit of retraction through your scapula. And then inhale, gently bring yourself up. Release your hands. And again, just kind of check in. How are we feeling? And then we're going to do the second side. So deep, full inhale. This time allow the left hand to grasp onto the right wrist. Elbows are still bent. Micro bend in the knees, squeeze through the glutes. And before we start moving, I want you to feel the hips shift over to the right. And then when you're ready, deep, full inhale, lengthening through this right side now. So really feel the opening through the right side. So rather than focus on how deeply you can go into the posture towards the left, instead think about how expansive you can be to the right. And breathe. Feel your body begin to open. Deep, full breath. Very nice, really lovely. And then now take a moment to notice if the hips, the left hip has come forward and the right hip has come back. And just see if you can keep those hips in the same line. And then inhale, bring yourself up. Exhale, sweep the arms down. And again, gently roll into the shoulders, into the trunk. Beautiful. Good. All right, you guys. So the next part, I want you to grab a block or two. So it's up to you in terms of how many you grab. Okay. And we're going to put them down in front of us. Okay. So what we're going to do first is I want you to just simply walk your feet out. There you go. So that they're about 3 feet in front of you. I'm going to move my props because they seem to be in the way. There we go. Okay. So we're looking at about 3 feet in front of us. What else that is? All right. From here, let your hands come to your hips. On the exhale, I want you to be very focused on drawing up and in. So what we're doing is we're actually, every time that you draw in through this lower abdominal area, you actually increase they call it the intra-abdominal pressure, right? Which simply means that you're creating stability for the trunk of the body, the center of the body. So when you're ready, I want you to take a deep inhale. Exhale, really feel that draw in, bend into the knees gently, and then begin to hinge forward. And what you're looking for is to make sure that everything feels comfortable as you come down. So depending on where you are today, you can use your blocks. If that's too much, feel free to come down all the way to the fingers or the palms. And if that is too much to have your blocks high, you can also stack your blocks and bring your blocks up here like this, okay? So take what feels best. But I'm asking you to keep your knees bent because this makes it easier on the back side of the body and also allows the back to begin to just gently stretch a little bit. So what I want you to do is we're going to gently begin to start easing our way over to the right. So as you do that, what's going to happen is that you're going to extend this left leg a little bit. As you do that, I want you to squeeze into the left glute. As you squeeze into the left glute, it's going to automatically propel you a little bit over to the right. So as you squeeze into this left glute, allow this left leg to extend. Beautiful, you guys, awesome. Now release the squeeze of the glute and bring yourself back to center. Now I want you to squeeze into the right glute. Squeezing into the right glute, and notice that as you squeeze into the right glute and you straighten into the right leg, it becomes very easy to shift your body weight over to the left. And then gently release that and sway back to center. So what you're doing is you're actually activating the muscles and making it easier for you to create the movement. So again, this time we're going to go a little bit bigger. Squeeze into that left glute. And this time as you squeeze into the left glute, allow that left leg to straighten out so that now you're coming down into a little bit of a Spider-Man squat. There we go, good. This is side lunge, you guys. So just take a minute. It doesn't matter how deep you're going. It's just simply about finding what works, okay? So here we go. Now, because now we're down a little bit lower, I want you to squeeze, right? And everybody's going, how are we gonna get back up? I want you to squeeze into that right glute and pull yourself back to center. There you go, good. Ah, very nice. Okay, squeeze, keep squeezing into the right glute so that now you can extend that right leg. Oh, there you go. Beautiful. Awesome, you guys. That looks fabulous. How does it feel? Are you finding new muscles? I've got people with thumbs up and I've got people going, I'm not so sure about this. Okay, squeeze that left glute, bring yourself back to center. okay? If you need assistance coming up, grab your blocks, okay? So here's what you're gonna do. I want you to squeeze strongly through both glutes right now. Squeeze, 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 and whether you come up one vertebrae at a time or you come up with a flat back is completely up to you. How are we doing? Good. All right, now, since we're here and we've already opened our adductors a little bit, what I want you to do next is all you're gonna do is pivot your toes. And I apologize because I've got sunlight coming in, so the reflection makes it a little bit difficult to see. So I'm gonna pull my knees up. So right now, because of what we were doing, okay, oops, hang on. Our toes were fairly straightforward, okay? So what I would like you to do now is come up onto the balls of the foot and allow the heels to come in so that the feet are at about 45 degrees. Okay. There we go, good. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna play with goddess pose here for a little bit. And please remember, I'm gonna do this from the side because I want you guys to understand that it's not about how deep you go, it's about finding the length through the trunk and allowing the shoulders to remain relaxed. So from here, are you ready? You're going to use your core as you exhale. Gently bend into the knees and bring yourself down. Okay, so again, so now what we have is we've got all of our quadriceps working very nicely, very well. Okay, our torsos are nice and long. We've got activation through the center of our belly. Our shoulders are relaxed. If you want to play, you can bring your hands back up to the tops of the shoulders and gently squeeze those shoulder blades together. Good, let that relax. And now to come out, now you're going to use your glutes. I want you to squeeze strongly through the glutes. Still making sure that you're breathing fully and gently lengthen your legs back up. How did that feel? Are we good? Good. We're going to do that one more time. So when you're ready, take a deep inhale, full inhale. Exhale, feel the core draw in, and as the core draws in, gently bend back down into the knees. Good. Beautiful. All right. This time, if your body says yes, you can keep your hands on top of your hips. And I want you to see how it feels, because we're going to move into our toes just a little bit, to lift the heel and come into one side of the toes. Bring it back down. Come into the other side up on the toes and bring it back down. And then squeeze strongly through the glutes to straighten the legs and bring yourself back up. Beautiful, y'all. Okay, good. And shake out those legs. Beautiful. Okay, we're going to move into triangle. And what I'd like you to do this first time that we do it is use your chair. Okay, so place your chair over to the right of you. And I guess I can let go of my legs. Okay, here we go. So everybody has their chair over to the right. Beautiful, you guys. So what's going to happen is that you're going to take this right leg and you're going to place it so that the toes are just underneath the seat of the chair. Okay, left leg, you're going to bend into the right, is going to come out a good 3 feet. Okay, toes on the right leg are going to be pointing forward, unless you're dealing with sciatic issues. If you're dealing with sciatic issues, please point your toes slightly away. All right, so take a moment here, and I want you to feel into this left side. Okay, so the left side is our plant leg. This is where the posture comes from. So I want you to squeeze into this left glute and just notice how much more strength it gives this left leg. And then let that squeeze relax. The next step is I want you to shift your hips over to the left. So I want you to get sassy hips. So as your hips shift over to the left, it automatically throws your torso over to the right. Beautiful. Okay, and now you're already halfway in the posture. So all you're going to do is allow this right hand to rest on top of the seat. It can be fingertips or it can be the palm. It doesn't matter. But what I'm looking for is straight and strength. Okay. Then take a moment. And I want you to squeeze again a little bit into this left side. And notice how when you squeeze, it actually helps rotate the hip and also helps give you a little bit more length through this left side. The last part, lengthen this the left arm up and breathe. Welcome to triangle. Beautiful, you guys. That looks awesome. Gaze can be ahead, it can be down towards the floor, or it can be up to the ceiling. Breathe here. Good. Now from here, gently, slowly, release this left hand. Bring it down. We're going to turn from here into a gentle forward fold. So what's going to happen is that you have your hand on the base of the chair if you need it, the seat of the chair. If you don't, go ahead and bring yourself up. You're going to take this left leg and I want you to step it forward and up the width of a foot, the length of a foot, okay? Once you've done that, now what I want you to do is begin to shift the hips from open to closed so that you are now facing your chair. Okay, beautiful, you guys. And everybody's width is going to be a little different. My hips like lots of space between my right leg and my left leg. So just feel free to go ahead and kind of play. Make sure that you can move the hip over to the right. Make sure that you can move the hip over to the left. Okay, again, this left leg is again in extension, so I want you to take a moment and squeeze into this left glute. Keep that squeeze right there and then take a full inhale. As you exhale, gently draw up and in. Allow your hands to wrap at the elbows behind, and then very gently, very slowly, coming from a very strong core, begin to hinge yourself forward. And when you get to a place where the hinge feels good and you can feel this through the center of the hamstring, release your hands and let your hands rest on the back of the chair. If you feel that you can hold, then you keep your hands behind, okay? So it's completely up to you and what your body says it can do. So from here, we're going to take just a little bit of a break and we're going to do a little bit of a cow and a cat. So if your hamstring on the right side is doing as much as it can, just put a gentle bend in it for this next bit. And you're going to take a deep inhale, and I want you to feel the back of the hips, back of the pelvis, gently begin to tip up towards the ceiling. And it's going to be a small movement. This is not going to be a big one. And then as you exhale, I want you to drop through the hips. Press down through the palms. Bring those shoulders forward, so really activate through the pectoral muscle. Squeezing. And gently take the chin up and into the chest. And then gently allow that to release one more time. Let your body come back to neutral. And then again, moving into a gentle variation of cow. So opening into the front of the belly as the hips tip up towards the ceiling. And then exhale. Gently drop the hips forward. Begin to lift and separate through the upper torso. Pull those pectoral muscles together. Tip the chin up and into the chest. And then gently allow that to release. And notice if you created some more space so that you can allow yourself to come a little bit further down. And it doesn't matter how much down you're at. This is just simply a place to soften and surrender. and then gently, slowly release. Okay, squeezing through both glutes as you bring yourself up. Squeeze strongly and bring yourself up. Beautiful. Okay. From here, as long as you have your balance, you're going to bend into this right knee, step that left foot forward. Let's bring our chairs over to the left side, and now we're going to do the whole thing, or this last two parts, again on the left. Okay. Are we breathing? Are we having fun yet? Yes? Okay. All right, this time, left foot, toes are going to come just under the edge of the seat. Right leg is going to step back about 3 to 4 feet, okay? And toes are either going to face forward or slightly pigeon-toed, unless you're dealing with sciatic, in which case the toes are going to point out just a little bit. Okay? So again, this time, the right side is the plant leg. So I want you, before we do any movement at all, I want you to squeeze strongly into that right glute. Just squeeze. Feel how that makes a difference, and notice how by squeezing through the glute, it becomes much easier to lift through that right arch and then let it relax. And notice how when you relax it, the arch then again softens. So next piece, I want you to shift the hips and allow the hips to come over to the right. And just practice that a little bit. We want the sassy hip. So as that right hip opens, it's going to push your trunk over to the left. Okay. Hand comes down, just the fingertips. Squeeze a little bit again into that right glute. And when you're ready, inhale, lengthen that right arm. Again, gaze can be straight ahead, it can be down towards the floor, or it can be up to the ceiling. And breathe. Deep, full breath. Beautiful. Everybody looks lovely, really nice. Good, good, good. Very nice. And then gently exhale. Release that right arm. Bring the torso back up. We're going to go ahead and now pivot our body so that we're going to face towards the chair. So you're going to begin with this right leg, put a gentle bend in the left, and step up and out. Here we go. So that the hips can come forward, right? And know that because we have different movement patterns between the two halves of our bodies, this side might feel a little bit different than the other, and that's okay. And again, because we have big extension going through this right leg, squeeze through this right glute. And just breathe. Notice how that feels. As long as your body says yes, you can wrap your arms behind to bind. Deep inhale or full inhale. And then as you exhale, really focus on coming from a strong core as you begin to bring yourself down. And again, hands can come down. And just rest. Breathe. Make sure that as you're here, okay, this left hamstring, if you're feeling a stretch, you're feeling it in the middle of the muscle. I don't want you feeling it behind the knee, and I don't want you feeling it up at the sits bone. Those are tendon attachments, and they're not supposed to stretch. They only have about 5% stretch to them. Muscle has much more. So again, as you're here now with this side, if this leg is doing as very much as it can and it needs a little bit of space, bend into the knee a little bit. Moving now into a very gentle cow and cat. So allow the hips, even if they don't really move, you're just living in that possibility. Even if they move only just a couple millimeters, that's fine. And then when you're ready, exhale, and I want you to drop through the hips. Lift and separate through the shoulder blades, and now I want you to pull, squeezing the shoulder blades forward by activating through the pectoral muscle. Oh, draw it forward. And notice that as you draw it forward, your shoulders automatically create space for the rhomboids and everything in the back. Tuck the chin up and into the chest. Gently, slowly allow that to release. Taking a moment to come back to neutral, and then again, gently sweep those hips back and up so they're moving gently towards the ceiling. Remember, this is a very small movement. Beautiful, you guys. Everyone looks fabulous. And then exhale, dropping through the hips. Lift and separate, really round into those shoulders. And I want you to feel those pectoral muscles. Oh, make them work, you guys. Just because a muscle is tight does not mean that the muscle is strong. So we're waking it up. Chin is tucking into the chest. And then gently, slowly release that, coming back to neutral. And again, if your hands would like to come behind, if by doing this you created some more space and you'd like to come down, please feel free. Deep, full breath. Using your breath. Take a moment, notice if you've let all of the weight off the back foot, and gently squeeze into that right glute a little bit. And then when you're ready, either round up one vertebrae at a time or gently bring yourself up, squeezing from the glute, using the core. Bringing yourself up gently, slowly. Goodbye, Peggy. All right, and then gently bend into this left knee. Step forward. Okay, how's everybody feeling, y'all? Are we ready to try a full moon salutation? We have it? Yes? Maybe? A little bit? Okay, all right. Here we go. So this time, as we do this, we're going to do it without the chair. Can we do that without the chair? Oh. Okay, so we're going to move the chair slightly out of the way. Okay, there we go. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to come over to the right side of the mat. There we go. And we're going to face toward the short edge of the mat. There we go. Good. As long as you can see the screen. So here we go. We're going to take a deep inhale. And I want you to go ahead and take that left hand and wrap it around the right wrist, bending into the elbows. Take a moment here, gentle, feeling movement, bend into the knees, however you need to do it, and then shift the weight into that right foot. Hip moves over towards the right, and gently roll the torso over to the left. And we're going to take 3 full cycles of breath. Focus on the exhale. Feel your body open as you breathe. At the end of the exhale on the 3rd breath, inhale, bring yourself up. Release the arms. Let your hands come to your hips. Shift the body weight into the right foot, and you're going to step that left foot back. And now pivot so that you're facing towards your computer. Beautiful. Look at y'all go. Nice. Float the arms out. Bring them into triangle, Trikonasana. While you're here, let's squeeze those shoulder blades together. Waking everything up. Let that relax. Float the arms back down. Let the hands again come to the hips. And gently coming onto the toes, pivot the heel in about 45 degrees on each side. Deep inhale. Exhale, feel that belly draw in and then gently bend into the knees. And take goddess pose. Breathe fully here. 3 full cycles of breath. Squeeze into the glutes if you need some more stability. And on the exhale, push from the glutes to bring your legs back up. Beautiful. Very nicely done. Okay, you're going to take this left foot, pivot so that the toes are facing straight ahead. You're going to take this right foot, pivot so that the toes are facing towards the short end of the mat where we started. Hands are going to come to the hips and shift the hips over to the left. Squeeze into this left glute. And then all you have to do is just slide that right arm down to about the knee. You can hold on at the knee or you can keep the palm flat just behind the knee. Inhale, lengthen into that left arm. Breathe. Beautiful, you guys. Stay strong through that left side. Breathe deeply. 2 more cycles of breath. And now lead with those left fingertips. Squeeze through the glutes, squeeze in through the core. Bring yourself safely up. Let your hands come down. Back again to the hips. You're going to bend gently into this right knee. And this left leg is going to you can either do your little toe, your foot side step, or you're going to lift and step out so that now you have plenty of space to allow the hips to face forward. Beautiful, you guys. And again, left glute, leg is extended, squeeze into that left glute. Hands can either stay at the hips or hands can bind behind, taking a deep inhale. As you exhale, really strongly draw in through the core and gently bring yourself down, only as far as your body says yes. Take your time. We have 3 full breaths here. And then from here, release your hands. I want you to bend into this right knee as much as you need to. Let that fingertips, so the very tops of the fingertips to come down to become stable. And you're going to shift your body weight into the right leg. And then you're going to get very light with your left leg and slide yourself down into a low lunge. And then bring the torso up. Okay, making sure that the knee and ankle are stacked. We didn't practice this one because we've done this one a lot. Okay, again, squeeze into this left glute. It's the stabilizer. This left leg is extended, which means that left glute is the primary mover. Let it activate. Breathe. And now gently, slowly, you're going to release, okay? If you need your blocks, you can gently bring yourself out, grab a block, and bring it back forward, okay? So grab a block if you need it, okay? So now, here's the fun part, you guys. You're gonna come up onto the toes of the left foot, okay? Your hands are on the block so you have something stable. You're now going to come into the right heel and you're going to shift so that you're facing forward. Again towards, look at you go. Oh, awesome. Lovely. Okay. If this is as much as your body says you're going to do today, that's great. If you would like to come down a little bit further, that's great. Please do what feels best. Okay, you have your block, so you can use this as an assist. Come down, bend into the knee, and then now you're in the middle. Got it? Beautiful, you guys. Bring yourself all the way over to the left leg. Beautiful, awesome. Find that opening. 3 cycles of breath. Ladies, I'm so proud of y'all. Please be proud of yourselves. Looks so good. You're like knocking it out of the park. All right, so from here, you're going to come down onto that right foot, and we're going to pivot. You've got your block. Use it. And now we're going to come down into our lunge. Beautiful. Look at you go. Yay. See, look at us moving all over the mat, and we're flowing, and you're using your breath. So awesome. Go team. All right, now, because this right leg is extended, check in and find out if that glute is working or not. So squeeze that glute. Please ask it to work, because it really does like to be a little lazy. Okay, from here, you're going to let that relax for just a moment. If you have your block, you can place your hand at the block. You're going to curl underneath those right toes, okay, and lengthen the leg. Now, you're going to hop, take as many steps as you need to. There you go, good. Okay, notice where we are, you guys. Hands can come behind. So we're already back to our forward fold. How lovely is that? Everybody looks fabulous. Good. 2 more cycles of breath. All right, to come up, I want you to squeeze into this right glute, activate through the core, come up 1 vertebrae at a time or with a flat back. Do what feels best. Gently, slowly bring yourselves up. Look at you guys go. All right, hands to the hips. You're going to put a gentle bend into this left leg, and you're going to bring that right leg back. Straighten into both legs. There we go. Hands come back to the hips. Are you ready for triangle? Shift the hips over to the right. Take a moment, because the weight is grounding from this right side. Squeeze into that right glute. As you squeeze into that right glute, notice that your torso is automatically leaning to the left. Bring the left hand down. Can either rest on top of the knee or just behind. Inhale, lengthen that right arm up. Breathe. Beautiful. Awesome. So lovely. Deep, full breath. 1 more cycle. And now lead with those right fingertips, gently bringing yourself up. Float down. Hands to the hips. Okay. 1 more goddess pose. So take a moment, come up onto the balls of the feet, gently bring those heels in. Are we ready? You're going to use your core. So take a full inhale. Exhale, really firmly come from the torso. Bring it down. Those of you that are feeling really spunky, if you want to do 1 foot up, other foot up, feel free to do that. If you are focusing tremendously right here, please stay. Squeeze the glutes. 1 more cycle of breath right here. And then squeeze yourself all the way back up. Shift the toes so that they face to the front. Inhale, float those arms out. Triangle. 1 more time. As you exhale, take those inner edges of the shoulder blades, squeeze. Beautiful. Let them relax. Let your hands come back. Now I want you to take those left toes, pivot them so that now they're facing towards the left side of the mat, short side. Step or hop yourself forward as many steps as you need. So now we're over here. Take a deep, full inhale. And this time I want you to take the right hand, wrap it around the left wrist, bend at the elbows, shift the body weight over to the left, and allow the torso to float over to the right. Breathe deeply here. 3 cycles of breath. And then squeezing, bringing yourself back up. Release the hands, let them come down by the side. And then one more time, deep, full breath of joy. Let the palms touch. Exhale, bring your hands down to the heart. Thumbs rest at the heart point on the sternum. Notice and feel your breath. And then gently, slowly release. We're going to go ahead and finish today on the floor. So go ahead and grab your cushion. Okay. How's everybody feeling? How did that feel for bodies? Was that good? Okay, good. All right. So here we go. So we're going to do our favorite leg posture. We're going to go ahead and do cow facing legs. All right, Gomukhasana legs. So please remember, we got lots of options. All right. First option, if your body's like, oh, again, why is she doing this to us? You're going to keep your right leg long. Okay. If you're on a cushion and your knee feels like it wants to hyperflex, please put a little bolster or a blankie underneath just to make sure that it doesn't hyperextend. Then you're going to bring this left leg up and over. And this might be, if you're feeling this, all the way from above your pelvis, down along the side and into the side of your hamstrings and your quadriceps. This is going to be enough. If you can do a little bit more and you can lie the leg down so that the knee is pointing forward and that feels okay, that's great. So you're only going as far as your body is saying yes. If you still have more, then what you're going to do is you're going to undo this left leg for a moment. I want you to bend into the right knee, bring it behind. Okay. And now we're going to start again. You can bring that left leg over. And if this is as much as your body says yes to, that's great. If your body says, nope, I can do a little bit more, you're going to work so that eventually the knees are in line. See, they look like little cow lips. That's why this is called cow facing pose. We just made cow lips. We made cow lips with our legs. How cool is that? Okay, now, it's really fun to watch because it's like, yep, everybody's got cow lips. Go team, yay, we like cow lips. If your body says yes, then what you can begin to do is coming from the hips, gently, slowly begin to hinge forward. And this might be a very small hinge, right, you guys? It's like some of you, this is like one of your favorite poses. Others of you, this is like I've invented a new form of torture. So I will, and if this is not a favorite pose, I will tell you what my very first yoga teacher told me. The postures that we like the least are the postures that we need the most. So it was what I've always hung on to when I get myself into a posture that's like, oh, geez, really? And breathe. And we're going to go ahead and do 2 more cycles of breath right here. At the end of the 2 cycles of breath, if where you are hinging, bring yourself back upright. Slowly, slowly, with loving kindness. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this into a very gentle twist. So inhale, bring the palms up. I want you to connect into that right hand. That's the one that's going to come forward. And as you exhale, gently twist. Right hand is going to rest on top of the left knee. Left hand is going to come behind. And breathe. Take a moment to notice and see if you can sense through your body if the shoulders are parallel. So are they parallel to the floor? And breathe. Beautiful. Look at y'all go. That's awesome. 2 more cycles of breath. Use the breath. And then gently, slowly inhale. Sweep the arms up. When they get about halfway, untwist. Palms touch. Exhale, bring it down. Beautiful. Okay, wherever you are, with much loving kindness, I want you to gently, slowly unwind that left leg. Bring it out, unwind the right leg. Oh yeah, let the legs come out wide. And breathe. Play a little bit through the trunk. And now we're going to go ahead and we're going to do the second side. So this time the left leg stays straight. Want you to do what feels best for your body. If that means, and know that just because you did one thing on one side, you may need to back off, or you could go deeper on the second side. So just gauge it. If you have a big difference between the 2 sides of the body, I would encourage you to only go as far as the tighter side. Because what are we trying to do? We're trying to bring the 2 halves of the body together. So if you keep pushing the side that's already flexible, you're just going to increase the imbalance, okay? So here we go. So left leg comes under, right leg comes over. We're going to work on making the lips. There we go, good, beautiful. Notice if you feel this in a different location on this side versus the other side. And again, as long as your body says yes, you can very gently, slowly begin to bring yourself forward just a little bit. Find that place where it feels like not only does it feel delicious, but it also feels like a place that you can surrender. So what we're doing is we're gently taking this last posture into something more of a yin posture. So we're focusing on the breath. We're staying here for a little bit of length of time. And we're just allowing the more plastic parts of the body that needs a little bit extra TLC and a little bit more time to lengthen and open. We're just giving it that time. 2 more cycles of breath. And then very gently unfold the torso so that you're back upright. Good. When you're ready, take a deep inhale. This time I want you to connect with your left arm because that's the one that's going to come forward as you exhale. Left arm forward, right arm back. Let the left hand rest on top of the knee, the right arm back behind. And again, gentle twist. Breathe. Again, 3 cycles. And then when you're ready, gently inhale. When arms come halfway, gently unwind. Let the palms touch. Exhale. Breathe. And then gently, slowly release. Release the right leg first. Release the left. If you choose, you can let the legs out wide. Oh, find that stretch. As you bring your legs out wide, feel free to squeeze in through the glutes. Sometimes that can actually activate opening a little bit more. And then gently release and relax. Let the hands come underneath the knees, bend into the knees. And now we're going to go ahead and come all the way down onto our mat. You're going to take one of your blocks. And gently, slowly roll yourself down. Okay, we're going to finish with a supported bridge pose. We're going to do the supported bridge pose for 5 breaths, and then we're going to release and move into our final relaxation. So, gently drawing the heels towards the sit bones. In order to bring yourself up safely, I want you to squeeze through the glutes. Gently lift into the hips. Slide the block underneath so that the top edge of the block aligns up or is just below the dimples. Let your arms gently externally rotate from the shoulders. Palms are facing up. Breathe deeply here. 5 cycles of breath. If you choose, feel free to let your eyes close. Again, placing the focus on the exhale. And because you've shifted your plane of gravity, it may feel a little bit different on the exhale as you draw in and up from in between the pelvis. At the end of the 5th breath, gently again squeeze through the glutes, lift the hips up so that you can remove the block. Bring those hips all the way down. Draw the knees high into the chest and give yourself that really lovely squeeze. And while you're here, whether your hands are underneath your knees or they are just below your knees, we're going to finish with an isometric stretch, which is going to help realign a lot of the core and the trunk. So take a deep, long inhale. And then as you exhale, I want you to feel the knees and the lower leg push against your arms, squeeze through your glutes. So there's no movement. You're just simply activating, waking everything up. And notice that as you do this, this also, in addition, helps push that lower back area into the mat. One more cycle of breath. Squeeze, waking everything up, and then gently allow it to relax. If it feels appropriate, you can just gently sway from side to side, rocking. You can also do front to back rocking. So just play with what feels best. And then when you're ready, release your legs. Allow them to float down. Again, allowing your arms to come down by your side. Take whatever you need in order to find that deep space of relaxation. So if you need a bolster underneath your knees, if you need a blanket over your torso, if you desire an eye bag over your eyes, whatever feels best for you so that you can find that space of surrender, of trust, knowing that the ground will hold you so that the body can deeply release. And not only is the body releasing, it's also integrating everything that we did today. Take a moment before you release your breath to scan your body, making sure that you're fully comfortable. And take a moment to thank your body for its breath. And then as you surrender, allow your body to go back to breathing you. Find the space, find the quiet. Very gently, very slowly, begin to find your way back. Begin by connecting to your fingers and toes, your hands and your feet, allowing them to make whatever movements feel best and most natural for you. Then bring the awareness through the body and back into the breath by taking a full deep inhale and a full deep exhale through your nose. Bring in fresh life. And as you exhale, release anything that no longer serves. Then if you choose, you can use your breath to bring your arms up over your head and stretch. Lengthen, fingertips to toes, bones to skin. Gently bring your knees high into your chest, wrap your arms round however feels best for you, and give yourself one last beautiful, blissful hug. And then when you're ready, gently roll yourself onto your side, press yourself back to a seated position, and one last time, allow your hands to form prayer and thumbs to rest against your heart center on your sternum. Y'all, thank you so much for a beautiful practice today. You did great. I'm honored to get to be part of it. I honor the divine in you that is the divine in me, that is the divine in all of us. Namaste, and may the blessings be.